Hi, I'm Amy Wurf. I'm a certified low vision therapist, and what I'd like to talk with you today is about some ideas for tactile labeling that you can use around your home or your home office to help you find things and identify things more easily. Speaking of home and home office, a computer keyboard can be something that you can put some tactile labels on to help you find those buttons a little easier. The F and the J already have a little nub on them when you buy keyboards, but it's not very big, so it's easy to lose those. If you put a little bit of puff paint on those and let that dry, you can find those very easily. And a little bit of sticky back Velcro at the escape key will help you find that one very easily. And again, any other buttons that make sense to you or that you're always struggling to find with that pinky finger. Using that same thought on a TV remote, I've taken some of that puff paint and painted around the buttons on a TV remote for the volume and next to a button for some of the ones that you need to find easily. Nothing sticks on this rubber, so you have to put things off on the side. So again, it's a tactile feel to help you be more efficient to find things. On some of the newer TV remotes, these buttons are almost flat on the remote, so putting a little bit of Velcro with an adhesive back around the buttons will help you find them more easily, and a strip of that puff paint on the volume up and down will help me find that more easily if I'm not seeing those buttons. When we think about medication, there's a few different options to consider. You can take that puff paint. If this is a medication that's taken one time a day, I put a little red strip of duct tape to cover up the label and to give a good place for that puff paint to stick. And I put one bump on the top of that bottle. This medication's taken twice a day, so I put 2 bumps on that bottle. And this one is 3 times a day. I actually drew the number 3 in the puff paint, and when it dried, I can feel that number 3 to know. And on this bottle, I put the first 2 letters of the medication. It's a Lipitor medication, so I put an L and an I in that puff paint so I can feel those letters. Additionally, you can use rubber bands for your medication bottles. So this is the 1 time a day pill bottle. I put a rubber band for once a day. The 3 times a day, 3 rubber bands. Now, rubber bands are notoriously easy to break, and over time they'll dry out and break. So a hair band, which are very cheap and easy to find almost everywhere, they hold up a really long time, and you can put that around a bottle. This bottle, I've got eye drops that need to be taken twice a day, so I put it into a larger pill bottle. Sometimes it's hard to mark the teeny tiny little bottles, not like this one, but tiny bottles for eye drops. And you can drop it in a larger bottle, put the 2 bands on there for 2 times a day. And I can also take something that's another tactile label, a little strip of a bright color, but something that sticks out to help alert me what this medication might be. Mostly with labeling, it's going to be what makes sense to you and what's logical, what's easy to have around your home. When you have found the system that works for you for labeling your medication bottles, you don't need to repeat that for the next prescription. You can simply take the lid off of your bottle and put it onto the new bottle. So it's easy, sustainable, and once you've got a system, you want to stay with that. When you're in the shower or at a hotel, what is the shampoo and what is the body lotion? Just taking, again, that hairband, wrapping it around one of the bottles, the one that makes sense to you, and that's something that you can then transfer to other pill bottles. On your canned goods in the cabinet, I've got a rubber band through a button, and then this would, again, I would know that the button is on my tomato soup. So when I reach in the cabinet, I could find that round button and look for my tomato soup. If I had other types of soup, I could get buttons in different shapes and put those on. And again, this is sustainable. I can take this off, put it in the drawer so I know that I need to buy tomato soup the next time. And when I get that, I can relabel that jar. On your appliances in the kitchen, again, think about what makes sense for you and the buttons that you tend to use. You don't want to put bump dots on every button on a microwave. That defeats the purpose. You want to find the buttons that make sense. The power button, the cancel button on a stove. You might want where the high mark is on a burner or the medium mark. You might want to put a dot or puff paint on the up and down temperature. and certainly on the cancel button. So again, think about your appliances, think about what makes sense to you, and go ahead and start your labeling. Some of the supplies for tactile labeling. This is duct tape, and you can buy this in multiple different colors and fluorescence. It'll stick to almost anything. So you can use this to wrap around bottles to give a tactile feel. You can roll it up a little bit and then tape it. Painter's tape has a nice texture to it too, to label some of your items. Velcro comes with an adhesive back on it, and you can buy that in black, white, and I have seen red. And you can cut then different shapes of that Velcro to stick on things, and that's a wonderful way to tactilely feel where controls are or to identify things. There is that puff paint that I talked about. There's fluorescent colors, orange and white and black, and multiple other colors too. With this, you put the bump on something, and about 6 or 8 hours later, best to leave it overnight, that bump is dry. It is not permanent, so you can peel it off of something that if you're moving out of the house, or borrowed TV remote from Charter or Spectrum, you can peel that back off again. It's nothing permanent. And then there's the actual bump dots. So we've got orange bump dots, white squares, white circles, and these are some little dots that are little cuts of Velcro already cut into circles for you. So you can buy things pre-made, you can come up with your own things. If you want little labels on things, these are paint strips, colored paint strips from the hardware store. So you can cut, again, little shapes, put them on rubber bands, and mark the things that you want to mark. If you'd like some hands-on assistance or have some questions about labeling or want to come in and purchase some of the products here at the Council's Sharper Vision store, we can be reached at 608-255-1166. And some of the products that we have are these products in the package. We've got the orange and white and black bump dots. We've got the Velcro, and we sell the puff paint for you. So those are some of the products that we have on site. And again, I'm Amy, and I want to thank you for spending some time learning about how to put some tactile marks on your items and help you identify things.